messy, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Going crazy.
Yeah. It's a war going on with the Joneses, huh? You know what I'm saying? What he said, it's a war going on outside. We ain't safe from. You know what I'm saying?
Man, whew. But I feel good. It's amazing.
I think we're going to end up with a good result out of this.
It's headed that way for sure. Like, for sure.
But let's make no mistake about it. Everything that I said before seems to be showing its true colors and saying it's true. Jerry and them had no plan. Mike walked out of here on their ass. And now they scrambling around trying to figure out what they're going to do. I think that's evident now.
It is. The fumble is evident. The thing I don't think that's evident is that the recovery is looking pretty good.
I agree. I think they're going to stumble into some greatness like they usually do. You know, they didn't draft Dak. They didn't draft Dak in the 4th round. They drafted him with the 4th round pick.
Exactly.
They didn't know what they was doing.
They got lucky.
They got lucky as hell, man. We know that. So that's what we looking at, man. Hopefully they stumble into some greatness again. They fall and bump their head and find a big old clunk of gold. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that's what happens.
You know, they headed in that direction. Low key. Because you know the funny thing, Landlord? We talked about this last week. We talked about Pete Carroll being the #1 candidate last week.
And I got to get it clicked because you told me about his resume. His resume is better than Mike's. That's not easy to do. Right. Especially being available too. You know what I'm saying? Most of the people who got a better resume than Mike, they got jobs already. You know what I'm saying? So for him to have those two things going for him, hey, I'm all ears. And I think if you're an NFL football fan, if you seen Pete Carroll coach, you can't help but admire the way he do things.
He dope.
I don't see how you can hate Pete Carroll. Right. It's no way. It's no way. Unless you're a Patriots fan. You know what I'm saying? Somebody he was beating. But the way he do things, I always was a little envious about that. I'm like, dang, bro, look what he doing in the film room. Look what he doing. Like, they just showed him, they followed him well. And they presented how he coached well. I enjoyed everything I was seeing, what Pete Carroll was doing with Seattle. And not only did he make it fun.
I kind of low-key think it's a couple of things going on. We might as well start the show right now. I think this is working for everybody. So, like, Jerry and them, in my opinion, are doing a good job of keeping people prices down. This is what I mean by that. You know, if you over here dealing with Brian Schottenheimer and y'all reach the point, you do want to kind of, on a business tip, let everybody know, hey, let me go keep shopping real quick, right? Because you're trying to pull them over to your number, you know? So I think it's, you know, when a coach got demands, you got to sometimes let them know I'm willing to shop. And it's working for it. That's why I got the hat on today, bro. That's why I feel like a king. Because these are my top candidates. Yeah. Yeah. These are my top candidates, man. So, I want to play some, but I wanted to see if you had any more thoughts on it.
Nah, I told you. I feel like we stumbling upon gold. Like, we striking oil by mistake. Like, it's like the Cowboys is like Homer Simpson, or, you know, Weekend at Burn. It's like, we don't know what we doing with ourselves, but some kind of way we find ourselves in a fortunate situation. That's what it feels like being a fan of the Cowboys right now. Like, blunder after blunder, and then it end up being something good. So hopefully they keep up that trend, man. Hopefully so.
Yeah, they stumbling into it. So real quick, I just want to ask you a quick question. What's your thoughts on Brian Schottenheimer?
Yeah, I like Brian, man. I feel like he's a leader from the most things I've seen. Like, he talks ball with the best of them. Like, if you watched any of his interviews since he been on Dallas, like, you'll really find yourself like paying a lot of attention. And to me, he puts it in a simplicity type way to where you could be like, you can follow him even if you're a casual fan. You can follow what he's saying and kind of get a good grasp on what he's trying to tell you. So that's gonna bode well for him being a coach, like coaching up the players and stuff like that. I could see him getting his point across. He holds the room well. He got a nice demeanor about himself. Like, and I see leader. I really do. I see leader when I see him, especially the way he, goes about his business and especially in the interview process. So when I seen us interviewing him, I'm like, oh, he finna kill an interview. Yeah. I knew that. Like, I was like, yeah, he finna smoke the interview. That's just how he is. Like, you got to remember, this dude got football in his bloodline. That's a good thing. Right. He probably been learning schemes and stuff when he was at 3-4 years old at the dinner table. Like, he's a lifer. You know what I'm saying? It's a little different. So with a dad like that, I know he got something in his bag, and he probably been being trained for this moment for his whole life. So if anybody was unprepared, I don't think it'll be Brian Schottenheimer. I think he ready. You know what I'm saying? I think he been ready. It's just, I guess he ain't got his opportunities yet.
Nah, it's I love it because both of these coaches believe that. But I want to show you something real quick, and this is interesting. And I want to ask you a question before I play this clip. It's a very interesting clip. You will enjoy this. What's up with the buyer's remorse on Shotty?
On who?
Shotty.
Buyer's remorse. So you talking about
the fans hate it. The fans.
Oh, you don't think the fans don't like it as a whole?
The fans hate it. He polling bad, bro. He polls horrible.
I mean, cause he's not a sexy pin. It's not shocking. It's not gonna make the. It's not hot. You know what I'm saying? So that's why. And Brian Schottenheimer feels more like change in their mind. They want change. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want a new coach. Like, they just want change. And Brian Schottenheimer doesn't represent change on the outside. Right. But when you start digging into it and you start hearing what his philosophies are and what he like to do, and he pulling stuff from his pops, he pulling stuff from Mike, he pulling stuff from all the other good coaches. He just pulling a lot of stuff that probably end up being a nice little scheme for itself. So I think we'll be okay if we get Shotty. No lie. Shotty or Pete. Like, real talk, I think both of these candidates will be awesome in Dallas. And I feel like, me, I'm an OG. I like OGs. You know what I'm saying? Give me Pete, though. Because the only reason I like Pete is because, like we said, one of the big requirements in Dallas is what? We need somebody to be able to box back. You know what I'm saying? I think Pete can run circles around Jerry. Like, Pete is like an old young man. Like, he is. Yes. He's an old young man, bro. Like, Pete got energy like nobody else.
Connections.
Like, I'm talking about Pete. Pete'll turn up. Like, you know how excited we got for Prime? This will be like the most conservative way to be excited. You see what I'm saying? Like, it'll be like a controlled excitement. You know what I'm saying? Because I think Pete is like that. I think you probably should have the same amount of emotion for Pete, but Pete is not the star that Dion is, honestly. But I really think Pete is a culture changer too on his own. Like, I think Pete makes you fall back in love with football to a degree to where you ain't studying none of the other foolishness no more. Like, Pete is almost, to me, this is how I view him. He like your favorite teacher. Your favorite teacher, they make it so interesting that you be ready to go back to class tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Some people, you be like, man, I can't, man, I gotta go to such and such class. You like, man, I'm gonna be pulling my teeth in up. Then is that one teacher you be like, I just can't wait. it be children that been bad their whole life, but it's like one teacher that can reach them. That's who I feel like Pete Carroll is. I think Peter make everybody fall back in love with football and get all the toxic energy out of here and bring about a winning culture, because that's what he did in Seattle. And I think Peter kill it here. I really do. I think his personality is so big, it'll deflect some of Jerry foolishness. Like, it'll deflect some of it.
He has great energy, bro.
Yes,
I love Pete energy, man. Excellent.
Good. It's top tier.
Top tier.
Like, it's top tier.
Hold on, my mic low. Give me a second to fit my mic, man. I need you to probably keep talking.
Yeah. If you ever seen somebody who, you know what I'm saying, just galvanized the room, it's a gravitational pull when it comes to Pete, though, in my opinion. I just feel like he'll shake up the locker room immediately. I think Dak will love him. I think it'll work out well.
You know what game people need to go watch?
What?
The game that people need to go watch if you want to get a good feel of Pete. People need to. Oh, perfect. 1-2. 1-2. That's much better. Good. Yeah. 1-2. 1-2. All right. That's fixed it. All right. If you want to get a better feel, go watch 2014 NFC Championship game, and it was Mike McCarthy versus Pete Carroll. That's the game. Go pull it up. You go enjoy it, because in that game, Mike McCarthy got off to a big lead. Russell Wilson had 4 interceptions in the first half. Green Bay was blowing them balls out.
Yeah.
The only reason Seattle came back was Pete Carroll. Go watch it. And it was how he rallied them. I ain't never go watch the game. It's gonna make you love Pete. Pete was running up and down the sidelines, doing nothing but getting his boys crunk. That's all he was doing. Like, he was running up and down, looking them in the eye, and it got them into the game. And once they got hot, they got burning hot. And that's where you saw Mike McCarthy melt. I saw it. I remember. I was like, they came back, you know?
Yeah.
Because it was one of them, it's over, you know? So I feel like a king right now. I literally said on Twitter, man, the Lord is good. You know what I mean? Like, when I saw the news, I'm like, it's not even just Brian, it's Pete. Like, we getting lucky. We getting lucky. We got to talk about their background, though. So here we go.
And now that it's been 3 years since that move was made to replace Schottenheimer with Waldron, you got to wonder maybe if there's a little bit of remorse there from Pete Carroll and company about that decision that was made 3 years ago.
Well, I think that there has to be some remorse from the Seahawks. I mean, as you said, Corbin, I think that you just look at the success that Brian Schottenheimer has had with the Dallas Cowboys, and the fact that their offense continues to be high flying. The Seahawks offense has been plummeting, over the not only this season, but you kind of look historically back over the last couple of years, and Shane Waldron, I think, has done a solid job. I don't think that he has done a spectacular job, whereas with Brian Schottenheimer, again, the Seahawks were 10th in offense. When he was let go, they had a quarterback in Russell Wilson who no longer is with the Seahawks, of course, either. And that was a lot of the scuttlebutt was that this was a decision by Pete Carroll and the Seahawks, and they chose their quarterback, who they have since jettisoned, over the offensive coordinator, who, again, Brian Schottenheimer has had a great deal of success since then. Look, kudos to Russell Wilson for having some success recently with the Denver Broncos. I wish them both well. Shane Waldron came in, and there had been some success here in Seattle with Geno Smith. I think if you're just going to compare Brian Schottenheimer's statistics with the Dallas Cowboys to what Russell Wilson has done in Denver or what Shane Waldron has done in Seattle, you're not really comparing apples to apples, in my opinion. But at the same time, I think that there's no question about it. Brian Schottenheimer is a very well-respected coach throughout the NFL. He deserves that. Dan Quinn, Gus Bradley, if you're watching yesterday's show, also deserve that kind of credit as well. Pete Carroll hires good coaches. That, to me, is the end storyline here.
See, they giving some juice. What you think so far, bro? Because they obviously got buyer's remorse.
Yeah.
So the Cowboy fans don't want Brian Schottenheimer. But if you go listen to what Seattle's saying, right, they missing him.
They would have brought him back. Yeah.
Right, they missing him. So ain't it funny? Ain't it funny? What's your thoughts on that, man? I'm gonna let it play. What you give your thoughts on that?
Like you said, man.
Listen to them, and you know that they really having buyer's remorse and making a strong case of how they lost out when they lost Brian Schottenheimer. How would that make you feel, right? Yeah. You know, all the people that doubt him, because it's a lot of people, I think they looking at him like you said, like he's not changed, but what he's actually changed. That's what I would think a lot of people saying, and that's okay. That's why we talking this through, right? He's changed. He is what? Totally opposite Mike McCarthy. He is going to commit to running the ball. Yeah. But Pete would commit more to running the ball. You know what I mean? It's
even more than Shotty.
Even more than Shotty. So it's like you got a good option with Brian. You got a great option with Pete. I was talking to Coach Marv today from a head coaching perspective, because, you know, since we shopping for head coaches, I want to talk to one, right? So I'm talking to Coach, and he was like, yeah. He was like, my money with Pete, and he had a good reason. He was like, when you really want real change, a lot of times you want to change the whole voice. Just a whole new voice. That's why sometimes you want to go with somebody outside. That was his point, you know?
Yeah. Fresh eyes, fresh ears, all that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think I agree with that too. Because like you said, Schottenheimer, I feel like he a man of his own though. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he'll go in here and pretty much be a cookie cutter version of what Mike McCarthy was doing. No. I don't see that.
No.
But you know, some people really are just extremists. Like they want to see drastic change,
right,
whether it's good or bad.
Right.
And like Brian Schottenheimer, I just told you, he just don't represent change in their eyes because he was already here. If Brian Schottenheimer was coming from Seattle right now, I think they'd be excited about it. That's what's so crazy about it. They just don't like what they seen, and they feel like he is a part of the failure. And that's true, though. To a certain degree, he a part of the failure. Like, we didn't give him no criticism. Like, let's be real. It was all Mike McCarthy. So I don't know what he was involved with. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing we got to reconsider, too. Like, we didn't know what to place the blame on Brian Schottenheimer. He didn't call plays, but yet he was the offensive coordinator. So people sitting back looking like, so what exactly was you doing? And was you doing it well enough to be our head coach now? You know what I'm saying? That makes sense. But at the same time, you got to go back and look at the other things he did before this job, too. So his full resume. Like, you don't get a job off just the last job you had. You know what I'm saying? They observe your full resume before they consider you for a real job. So you gotta pull back his resume in its entirety before you make a judgment on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the casual guys looking at it like, man, he was here, he didn't do nothing, we lost, we don't want him. That's how it seemed like they diagnosing him right now.
That's how I would say a lot of people diagnosing it. I also looked into what people were saying about him. All the players, all the quarterbacks, all spoke great about Brian.
Yeah.
Drew Brees, I looked up all of them. You know what I mean? Everybody praised Shotty. Everybody. Every quarterback praised Shotty. So that's I know great. A lot of people like Dak wanted him. Everybody wants him. So somebody, and I looked into the background even more, right? Because I'm just trying to get my facts together, right? So what was funny to me, it was Pete Carroll that separated from Brian Schottenheimer. And they said a philosophy difference.
He ordered the hit on him.
He put the hit on him. But then I was showing that it's buyer's remorse. Number one. Number two, I think he was a scapegoat. Because a lot of people keep saying, why nobody want him, right? Talking about Brian Schottenheimer. So when you listen to what they saying, and they talking about, they basically missed him greatly. Listen.
But I do think that the Seahawks have to kind of take a step back and recognize that Brian Schottenheimer was doing a heck of a job, and why you would let go an offensive coordinator when your offense is 10th in the NFL, to me, has been one of the more confounding decisions of this Seahawk era, at least during the John Schneider, Pete Carroll era.
Big remorse.
Big remorse. So then, in my opinion, I want to get your thoughts on this, landlord. If you look at what did Dallas say when they had a separation with Mike McCarthy? What was the statement Jerry put out?
They just came to an agreement.
Difference of a philosophy.
Yeah.
The same thing. Same thing. So what does that likely mean?
It's BS.
It's the go-to. It's the go-to. It's when we get rid of a coach, this is what the team usually put out. You know what I mean?
It's the professional way to say we don't like them.
Yeah.
we don't like them and we don't want them no more.
That's why when I look into it, it smells like a scapegoat, because his offense was killing with Russell Wilson. You know what I mean? It was consistent. Russell was balling. They just lost to Dallas, and it was like somebody got to get a cut for this, you know?
Yeah.
Just like last year when San Fran lost in the Super Bowl, they fired their defensive coordinator. Everybody was like, him? Dude was balling. Dave was balling. But some teams, somebody's head got to roll.
Yeah. And you see, if I'm not mistaken, I just seen Robert Saleh went back to San Francisco.
Yeah.
You seen that? Yeah, they just said they looking at a reunion.
Yeah.
And it might be official. I'm not certain, but I think they said it's candidate off the, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna have to figure it out. But yeah, pretty much what you said, like that do sound like a hit job. You know what I'm saying? Like
sound like a hit.
And we know different from them teams either, boss.
Right.
Like when we have a bad season, somebody got to get it.
It's
you
right.
know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And this year was Mike McCarthy.
It's
like,
right.
They had to blame somebody.
Right.
Like after all these injuries and everything else, they had to find somebody to blame. And what I did see is like it was the popular opinion to me. To me, it was like most people was ready to get Mike out of here. So it was like Jerry was like, hey, let's jump on that trend. So I think that circles back to how important our voices is, man. Like whatever we say, you know, Jerry and them can almost just jump on that wave and make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to be careful with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like everybody know that I didn't agree with it. I didn't think he deserved that. But at the same time, the majority votes won. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like I used to have to battle everybody about talking good about Mike. You know what I'm saying? So that means that I was a minority. You know what I'm saying? So if the majority of the crowd saying one thing, that look like the way they gonna go. So we got to be careful about the things that we promote. You know what I'm saying? I feel like.
No, I think you said it perfect. I think you said it perfect. I want to play one more clip and talk about it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, as you mentioned, this isn't comparing apples to apples because Russell Wilson was prime Russell Wilson during his 3 years as the quarterback in Brian Schottenheimer's offense. But I think you could make the argument that he became prime Russell Wilson because of Brian Schottenheimer and taking his game to another level.
Ooh.
I like it. I like it.
Ooh. Ooh, see, that's why to me it's a value when you listen to them podcasters. You know what I mean? Because now you can see what they saying after he been gone.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that first part of the 2020 season where he was on a historic tear. A lot of that had to do with what Brian Schottenheimer was dialing up as the play caller and some of the.
Ooh. Ooh.
A lot of that had to do with it.
Now, this is the one that Cowboy fans like,
things that he did to help with his fundamentals that took him to another level. And we know he sputtered at the end of the season that year. There were some other factors that impacted that. And maybe Russell Wilson was starting to decline a little bit at that
Ooh. Juicy.
point. But I thought those 3 seasons, to me, Brian Schottenheimer's been the best play caller the Seahawks have had, and that's not taking.
Wait. Now that's even over them Super Bowl years. Wait.
To me, Brian Schottenheimer's been the best play caller the Seahawks have had, and
ooh, one more.
I thought those 3 seasons. To me, Brian Schottenheimer's been the best. Not taking a shot at Darrell Bevell, who did some good things in Seattle, but you look at the numbers and across the board, the Seahawks had their best offense in the 3 years that Brian Schottenheimer was the OC. In fact, you compare these 2 coaches, Shane Waldron and Brian Schottenheimer, there's a lot more red on Shane Waldron's chart. That is not a good thing. That means that your offense ranks between 21 and 32 in the NFL in that category, meaning you're in the bottom third. The Seahawks right now, most meaningful offensive categories, they are either at the very back of the yellow group or they are in the red. And you look at what Brian Schottenheimer did his 3 seasons in Seattle, there were only 2 examples where the Seahawks were in the bottom third in anything on offense. And they were mostly in the green, including being a top 10 scoring offense every single season that Brian Schottenheimer was the offensive coordinator. So again, you can look at these circumstances and there's some differences, Geno Smith versus Russell Wilson, obviously, but you could also make the argument that Shane Waldron's got 3 seasons with prime DK Metcalf, still in his prime Tyler Lockett, and now you've added Jackson Smith and Jigba and the tight ends they've got. I think the Seahawks have more offensive weapons. They've got 2 really good running backs too. And you can make an argument of the offensive line being better than what it was when Brian Schottenheimer was here.
So in other words, Brian did more with less.
With less, yes.
And that's a damn good case too. Did he lie on that, landlord?
He didn't lie, because he said when he said prime DK and Jackson Smith and Jigba and Tyler Lockett, like, man, that's another core of stars that sound better than what we got though.
Say
that right now.
So like, and I'm not trying to make Cowboy Nation feel better. You know what I'm saying? We just presenting, you know what I mean? The evidence. And it's one of those things, bro. I think, Cowboy Nation, I think he was announced honestly at the wrong time, landlord. Yeah. I think he was announced him as play caller. I want to see him as play caller so that we can know who he is. Right now, people don't know who he is. So you got to go research who he is. The reason why we like Zimmer is because we saw Zimmer and the return of Zimmer. People were, he was called the old guy when we first got him. He was called a Will C, right?
Yeah. They didn't have too much respect for Zimmer at first. We felt like he was already, a puppet for the Joneses. He was already, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He didn't already been down that path, but Zimmer showed that he was a man of his own merit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He didn't play about that. So, yeah, he showed that he had value in his own scheme and what he had to bring to the team. For sure.
Let me finish this clip, and then we go get to him. We'll get out of here.
But I think at the end of the day that this is a move the Seahawks are going to look back, if they're not already regretting the decision to let go of Brian Schottenheimer. Thursday night has a chance to maybe be the nail.
Because we was getting ready to play them. So, does that sound like that was major buyer's remorse? Or was they happy to see Schott go?
Nah, they was devastated, sound like.
Yeah.
To me.
So, All right, now we got to get to the good part. I can't wait to talk about this.
Yeah, I'm really him.
Let's go.
You gotta talk about him.
I'm really him. Hold up. Look, walking this bitch like, hey. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, hey. I'm really.
Gotta talk about him, bro. I can't wait. All right, we got some stuff we gotta talk about. So we got us a little feud going on. Allegedly, you got Stephen Jones on the side of Brian Schottenheimer, and you have Jerry, allegedly, that's what's been reported, as the guy who want to keep shopping and is entertaining Pete.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be the him in this feud?
I think Jared feel like he almost gotta hijack the situation right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like Jared been going Steven way with most things for a while now. And I feel like Jared's sitting up here like, man, look, I ain't got no results though. I've been trying to play the conservative role like you. I've been penny pinching and everything, just like you. From your advice. And I ain't got nothing to show for it. So I'm finna go out here and go out in a blaze in a minute. So we gotta get some results out here. Wild Man Jerry might be making an appearance or two this year.
Is that a good thing?
I think so.
I think so too.
Bigger the risk, the bigger the reward, man.
Man, the last time we won the championship was when Jerry got aggressive.
Exactly. And
he went out there and overrode Steven and got Dion.
You see the aggression from everybody else and it's working?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the Eagles didn't come in here being scared with scared money. They went and bet on Saquon. The injured, super extraordinary athlete. They bet on him. And guess what? They won that bet. You know what I'm saying? They won that bet. When you go and take risks, it's gonna be a gamble. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of the times when you do it calculated, you can still come out on top. You can still come out on top if you do it right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you to go spend $1 million in Dogecoin right now. I'm not telling you that. But if you had $1 million in Bitcoin, you might be feeling a little better. You know what I'm saying? That's a more calculated risk. So, hey, just do something that you confident in and you feel like it'll work. And I feel like that'll be the best thing for us. Sitting on our hands won't get us nothing. Sitting on our hands will get us back here, the same position we in now in the next offseason, mad and cussing. That's what we'll be.
Yeah, this is very interesting. See, and I love this comment from my boy David. I want to get your thoughts on it. Man, y'all be having the best comments, bro. My boy say, fight for attention. In other words, art is this just a marketing ploy? Because it's almost like you playing us, right? Because we know too much. Why do we know that it was Steven and Junior, right, versus Jerry? Like, so people got to realize when you hear stuff like that, somebody called and was like, this was going on.
Put this out.
Yeah. Put this out.
It's a reason why this is out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a reason why some other stuff ain't out either. You know what I'm saying?
It's like it's WWF. Yeah. It's Jerry versus Junior. It's like, why we know that? Like why? Why do we know that? You know? So it make me think like my boy David. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say, man, we got some smart fans, bro. I swear to God. We got the smartest fans in the world. We really do. We really do. So, you know, it got a smell to it. I kind of smell, let me see. You know what I'm saying? You're like, nah, I don't know if I'm buying it all the way. You know, not that. You know what I'm saying? That sounds like a little TV, you know? But I think, man, I think we're getting lucky right now, bro. I think we're getting lucky right now. And the best thing is this. We start talking about Pete Carroll from the show last week. If you want to, we don't even got to talk about Pete Carroll because we talked about it last week. You know, that's people like, boss, why you got the Burger King hat? It's the only hat that I could put on that express how I feel. I feel like a king. Last week.
Hey, talk your talk, though.
You hear me? You hear me? It's the only thing that can express how I feel, bro. I feel like last week we was like, they gotta be joking. You hear me? You what? You, huh? And then this week, and we talked about these dudes as candidates last week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we wake up and Santa Claus done presented the very people we would talk about, Landlord.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
So, man, like, I don't see how people can be mad right now. Well, I understand. No, I do. I understand how you mad. I do. I just think, take some time. Cowboy Nation, like for real, just look at this and you can trust us. Trust me, you can trust Landlord. Landlord ain't gonna lead you wrong. He would call me out. He would call you out. He loyal to the Cowboys. If he like it, it's good.
Yeah, I like either one.
Me too.
And I feel like it's better than what we thought we was gonna end up with on both sides. No lie.
Oh,
it's better than what we thought we was gonna end up with.
Yes. I was over here saying I want Philly to win. Boss is like, boss, you crazy. I was like, we need time to educate people on Kellen. You know what I mean? So that no Kellen campaign, it went crazy. You know what I mean? All of us got behind it. The whole new media got behind it. And now people starting to come to light. And then let me tell y'all something. I just want to say something real quick. It's some people that got an opinion that like I'm hating on Kellen, even though he has success, they say. I just really recommend that you actually go watch the content that I put out there. Go actually watch it. It's about football. You know what I'm saying? It's the football. It's the fact that his offense allows the defense to dictate where his ball is going to go. That's why so many number ones don't like him. And so that's why I called it Fool's Gold. Because it shows up.
Too.
It's still so. Talk about it.
AJ Brown was mad as hell. He's been mad all season.
Yeah.
He's been mad all season.
Yeah.
And, you know, you see these role players, it's the same type of premise what was going on in Dallas. You see all these other guys getting targets and AJ just mad because he can't get targets in the offense. The only difference is they running the ball. And they made him do that.
Right.
They sat Kellen down and made him run the ball. So don't get it twisted. Don't think that, you see Kellen doing well with the Eagles and it's just Kellen. No, they managed Kellen. That's something that we wouldn't do because Jerry look at him like a son. So how many times you gonna tell your son no? Not a whole bunch. You know what I'm saying? So Kellen keep asking about freedom. Jerry gonna end up cracking. And that's a recipe for disaster. I think he get in his own way. He try to do too much. And that's what screws up every time. But it's simple in Philly. Y'all got one of the best offensive lines. You got one of the best running backs we ever seen. Run the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Play off the run. Any one of us could be the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles right now. Yeah. I swear I feel like I'd kill it. Better than him.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah.
So, and it's so simple. You know what I'm saying? Hand the ball to Saquon. Play action off of that when you want a chunk play. You got two of the best receivers on the outside. It's easy work. So don't think that Kellen is just, the guru again. Nah, don't forget about what he did with the Chargers. Don't forget about what he did with the Cowboys. Bruh, we had a super talented team, but that team was limited from what Boss just said. He was treating us, everybody as equals. You know what I'm saying? Amari Cooper, Cooper should have been going way more crazy than he was with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We Shanahan had Cooper going crazy too. You know what I'm saying? Cooper was going crazy from day one when he got here. But Kellen kind of slowed it down. He had him doing more creative stuff. They had to do some improv stuff to get the big plays out of Cooper. Cooper used to have to try to bribe Dak to go against the grain. Like, come on, Dak, let's just do this route. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to do that route no more, Dak. Let's do this route.
Begging.
Yeah, so we understand that, man. So I guess I got to say, like, Kellen, I feel like he's still Kellen. I just feel like he's just in a better situation with better talent, and he's being managed. So don't get it twisted. I don't feel like he grew too much either. I feel like he's like, it's almost like they got a gun to his head. You know what I'm saying? Like, he gotta do it. It's no options. It's no option.
And see, bro, like, you know, they was bracing us for Kellen last week. They was getting us prepared for Kellen. So I want to play this. I said we was finna get out of here, bro. I got one more clip I gotta play, and then we gone. This is worth it, though. This is worth it. You gotta hear this, bro. You gotta hear this. You ready?
Let's go.
Jason Witten, you mean the future coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Jason Witten, DeMarcus?
Now you're getting to the real steak and potatoes, as we say in Texas, right? I think that Jason Witten can be the coach for the Dallas Cowboys. If you look at his career, like, think about a Dan Campbell, right? What he did for the
hell no!
I think Jason Witten can do the same thing for the Dallas Cowboys. He has a no-nonsense mentality. He knows about, you know, the offensive game. Get him a good defensive guy. I don't know who that defensive guy is. Could be D-Ware. Don't know who can come in and do that thing, but or he get another guy like, you know, like a Dion. Is there a mixture that you can bring, you know, a little bit of the spunk, but also the conservative part of the game with Jason and bring it all together?
I heard what you said. I'm not just going to leave
Talk
that
to me,
bread.
talk to me,
I'm
Rick.
not going to let that breadcrumb just sit on the floor,
My ears
DeMarcus.
perked up there.
You want to coach? Is that what you want to? You want to be?
You know, I would probably, if I had an opportunity to coach like the linebackers, to go in there and do it the right way, I think that I can really make a huge impact with those guys in some type of capacity.
So have you told this to Jerry? Well,
I just told it to Rich. I told Rich.
Let's pass it along to Jerry, because so you, like, let's say he hires Witten, you'd be his linebacker coach? Or
no doubt. I would really consider that.
Oh hell no!
So I done showed my hand. Let me tell you what I think about this, bro. Then I want to hear from you, bro. I wrote it. It would be a circus, bro. See, this is proof why we shouldn't even want Witten as a coach, bro. The talk of Witten as head coach would be so loud if they add him to the staff. It's going to be a day one distraction. Day one. Like, think about it. You got DeMarcus Ware sitting on Rich Eisen talking about Witten as the heir apparent and him coaching under him. And we ain't even hired either Pete Carroll or Brian Schottenheimer yet. A football first
saying he got one.
Right.
He got a role already.
This is something we shouldn't accept. And this is why I said it. Hear me out. We all felt like Kelly was pretty much laid up, but what did we do? We fought back. No Kellen Moore. No. But see, with Witten, we accepting it. We just like, make him the tight end coach. You know you moving a super good tight end coach to make Witten the tight end coach. Let's just keep that in mind. You don't have to move him to the offensive line. You can keep him where he's already really strong. And see, this is what's just bothered me. It's It's gonna be a super. You go put a super hot seat on your new coach before you even know who he is. This type of talk is gonna happen every time we have any kind of downturn.
Bad year. Maybe they should consider putting Witten there. You know what I'm saying? Promoting Witten to the head coach. You're gonna hear that until the end of time. You're right. I think it will be day one distraction, like you described, because he too big of a star. You know what I'm saying? This man was on the what it is. He was an analyst for like 2 days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
he got that stardom about himself.
They put Kellen right as the quarterback coach. That's his first job. You remember Kelly's first job was the quarterback coach.
Yeah.
And then right after that, coordinator. See, they go fast track that dude, man. Y'all better peep game. You better peep.
Right.
And see, I don't even like how DeMarcus work. I'll be the linebacker coach. I would. When have you got practice coaching? Being a great player is totally different than being a great coach. It's totally different. It's a whole lot of people who know how to play that don't know how to teach why they play as good as they play. They don't know how to get you in the right drills. They don't know anything about really developing you. They don't know when to slow down, right? Because sometimes you can push your players too far. They wouldn't know.
I agree. Because like I said, when especially if you're just a natural athlete, like I told you, I woke up one day and I was able to catch the ball. I can't describe it to you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I wouldn't be able to help you out with it. Like I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? Like people was looking at me like I was crazy. Like, how you catch like that? I'm like, shit, I don't know. Like I'm in middle school snagging stuff one hand across the middle. Swear to God. Like they like, where you learn to catch like that from? I'm like, shit, I don't know.
Right.
You can't do it? I'm looking at them like, how y'all can't do it? So it'll be, like you said, when you a natural talent, man, that come from God. It ain't come from nobody else. So it's going to be hard for you to tell, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That them be the best coaches, really.
Right.
Because they know it step by step what it took for them to get to where the point that they was at. So now they can show you exactly where you need to do it. So I feel like the student coach is a better coach than the natural talent coach.
Right.
Now I know that's kind of different from what we said about Deion, but Deion, I look at him as like a CEO type coach. I wouldn't want him hands on either. So just remember that, like far as him showing a cornerback how to be a cornerback, like it's certain things like, bruh, Deion, he don't run as fast as you. You know what I'm saying? He don't run as fast as you ran. So that might not work for him. You know what I'm saying? So it's just certain things I feel like the great players, they can't teach that. It was a gift from God. That's just how I feel like.
And then somebody say he talked too much. He say y'all have no idea. We don't know if Witten is gonna be a great coach. We do know it's gonna be an epic distraction. You know, that's it. And sometimes people listen. You know, the thing is, when you start being too aggressive because you bet on Witten, that's gonna hold us up for years. I don't want none of the pet cats. I don't want none of the Garrett guys and Kellen Moore. Anybody that them Joneses is gonna have an affinity for. No. And I want them to, I wish they stopped comparing him to Dan Campbell. I hate that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because the problem with comparing him to Dan Campbell, you not go take him through the Dan Campbell road. See, if you go look at his road, it took him 10 years to get to, and then you go try to present him like he's Dan Campbell. It's like, no, Dan Campbell cooked. He slow cooked into the man that he became. Y'all put Witten in the microwave, put 10 seconds on it, and then said I got one super chat, and that's cool. I appreciate it. V in the building. DMV.
Super chats.
I threw that bitch aggressive, dude.
He banging.
I threw that thing down aggressive. Yeah, I'm sick of us accepting that. We just accept that. Oh, yeah, Witten's gonna be the tight end coach. Like, man, he needs to be quality control. Matter of fact, he needs to go be quality control for another team first, not us.
He need to go to a college level first.
Yeah, if you're trying to win in Dallas, don't accept Witten. That's gonna be a distraction, bro.
Time out. You see how some people had like, Deion ain't ready, he ain't qualified. But they ready to let Jason Witten just scoot on past all the qualifications and be a coach.
Yeah.
Deion actually been coaching for a long time, bro.
He was on that damn
Deion went up the ranks. Yeah, he went up the ranks to where he is right now.
He been on that 12-year program. That's who been on the 12-year program.
But they said they don't like that, but they'll just accept Jason Witten.
Yeah, man. Jason Witten and Waiting. That's crazy. It's like, nah, bro. And I just think honestly, I'm just being honest with everybody. We can't have two different outrages. You know what I mean? We can't. We didn't accept Kellen Moore, did we? Did we accept it?
Nah.
We quickly, because we love the team. Everybody who love the team was like, no. We not gonna let y'all push him on us. And we didn't accept it. But we're Witten.
Just imagine.
Yeah.
If Kellen got in, just imagine what would it take to get him out of here. Lord Jesus.
Oh, God. Oh.
Man, we'll have him for 15 years.
We talking about
10.
We talking about 5 to 10 years with either one of them. Because if you let Witt in the building, they not go quit. They go take it the whole way. They go take it the whole way.
At least.
My boy DMV say he want to call in. Man, DMV, you got 5 minutes, bro? I know you got to get up early.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm about to tap out right now.
Yeah, man. He
floating. Take my place though.
Because I would have to build a new template.
Oh yeah.
DMV, man, my boy, he got to get up early. You know what I'm saying? We already talked about before we did the show, man. He floating on fumes. So, man, I'm gonna tell y'all this. Y'all shoot super chat the homie. Tell everybody your cash out.
It's $ landlord 723. You know, whatever you got for your boy, it's very much so appreciated. It's all good.
And I'm Boss Cowboy Sports. That's my cash app. Appreciate y'all that always donate to the cash app. I'm gonna go ahead and give my final words, big dog. So, obviously, I feel good, man. I'm the king. I'm the king today. I feel like a king today. Last week, we was literally gearing up for, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? And DMV, you know I would have called you, big dog. It's just my boy ran out of gas. I got you, though. I got you. We go do some work. You know what I'm saying? I know, and we go talk for sure. Even if we do something this weekend, I got you. So, it turned from Kellen Moore, and let me say this again, for those who misunderstand me, I ain't got no problem with Kellen personally. I'm definitely not hating on, the times that his offense had success. I'm not talking about that. Because I fully understand his offense, I know where it breaks down, and I know when it's going to break down. It breaks down in the big games, or it breaks down when it goes against a smart coordinator who know how to show different looks, that know how to confuse the weapons and take away his best weapons. All you got to do to him is show him threats to his best weapons, and his offense is going to go away from him. So I need y'all to really understand the concepts. I'll be sending some of y'all videos. I need you to watch them. You can't explain the stuff on Twitter. You got to sit down like everybody else and watch it, because I actually talk concepts. I'm talking concepts. So we went from that mess landlord to the people that was number one on our list. God dog, I feel like a king, bro. You hear me? You hear me? And I ain't lie. All you got to go do is go watch the show from last week where we came out like, are you joking, bro? Are you playing? And it fully switched. So I would say this. It's a lot of people, they going out there, they saying, Jerry don't listen to Twitter. Now, I got John Machota saying he getting a report. Then I got another guy saying he don't look at that. Now, you're not going to talk us out of our voice. I ain't going to let none of y'all talk us out of our voice. I'm not going to let y'all think we don't matter. We matter. And y'all know we matter. You know exactly who we are. Y'all know who we are.
Facts.
So, and we mean well. That's the most important. We mean well. We trying to win. We might see it different. All of us see it different. That's okay. We might see it different, but we got a voice in this too. You know what I mean? And I'm just happy to see that it's some good thought obviously happening in our front office. Now, I know a lot of fans don't think so. I think a lot of fans are mad. But say, listen, y'all, Cowboy Nation, the front office, with the people they talking to right now, they getting it right. I mean, this could actually turn us. It has that much upside, man. That's my final word. I feel great.
Hey, I'm feeling the same way, man. Anything but almost fire. The culture would be, man. I feel like we need a change. I've seen what Pete Carroll's done for Seattle. You know what I'm saying? That was a real football culture over there. And, you know, that speaks to something else I said, man. I feel like I need somebody to build his identity. And I feel like Pete would be one of those people. For sure. I feel like Pete could build us our identity. I feel like he'll demand a real lengthy type signing. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he'll demand like 5 years at least, 6 years at least. You know what I'm saying? Like Pete ain't coming over here to play with his time. And I feel like it's a good thing for him to be the one to engage the conversation, to start it up. Because to me, that says a man that's confident in his ability to do the job. He like, listen,
and desperate. We like him desperate.
Yeah. I feel like he's confident too, though, because this ain't no easy job to put your name in the hat for.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying?
Good point.
Because listen, we over here looking like who want the job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Pete like, hey, hold my beer. Let me show y'all how to do this. I can do this. I know I can do this. I know I can be successful. And once again, you got to take into account this is a man with a brand, and he ain't finna just let his brand crumble under the Joneses. He's not. He's gonna come here and he gonna implement his things that he know how to do, and he know how to win, and that's gonna be the plan moving forward. Now, will he delegate a little bit with the Joneses? You gotta give and take a little bit with them. That's just how they built.
Right.
Nobody coming here with an iron fist. I'm sorry to let y'all know that. Nobody will ever come to the Dallas Cowboys with an iron fist and try to rule over it. It's not happening. They gonna have to bend the knee a little bit. Hear that? That's just how it go. You know, Jerry's like, what's that girl, Cersei? He's Jerry like Cersei almost. He ain't going for nothing. He gonna die with it, all that. He gonna stand on it. Hey, he gonna go down with the ship. I just feel like that's how he is. So, you know, I feel like Boss said, we need a person like Pete that know how to box with the boxers. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if Shotty built like that.
California people got media like people. They do.
Yeah.
I ain't mean to cut you off, bro. Go ahead.
No, you good, but I just think we need somebody equipped. Like, we don't need nobody learning on the job going against the Joneses.
Right.
Like, we need somebody who gonna have enough cachet to fight back. And that's going to help us get to where we trying to go, man. And that's my final word. Man, let's go Pete Carroll.
Let's go Pete Carroll, man. I'm still down with you too, Brian. But let's go Pete.
Yeah.
Either way.
Pete the ultimate. He the gold.
He the gold. Let's get it, y'all. Man, feel better, Cowboy Nation. We starting to recover, man. The game ain't over. We got to get this game right if we got hope. Let's go.
Let's do it.